Hey, IAC. When we and our family got back from vacation a couple weeks ago, it was honestly a bit of a culture shock, especially when we went on social media, because the rhetoric was so heated, so insensitive and uncaring. I'm sure many of you have experienced the same thing. I'm sure it was that way before I left, but after stepping away for a few weeks, I noticed it more deeply. Over the last couple weeks since we've been back, I've been able to have lots of conversations with people on multiple sides of all these debates that are happening. And so today I want to talk a little bit about something I've been learning about what it means to love our neighbor in the midst of this heated rhetoric. Now, as most of us probably know, agape love, the kind of love the New Testament talks about, is not just an emotional reality. It is a deep desire for others' flourishing, but it's also the willingness to sacrifice ourselves for the sake of that flourishing. Well, right now there's a lot of debate about whether loving our neighbor means voting for this person or that one, meeting up with people or not, and most crucially, wearing a mask or not. And it gets heated, especially about masks. And I think that assuming that the scientific consensus is correct, wearing a mask can definitely qualify as loving others. Masks aren't great self-protection. They keep others actually from getting sick from us, and they are indeed a sacrifice. So I think, in general, it is loving to wear a mask according to this biblical definition of love, of seeking others' flourishing, even at our own sacrifice. But if masks are a way of loving our neighbor, they are only a way of loving our neighbor. As I've been having a lot of these conversations, I've been reminded that when we seek to love our neighbor, we are seeking to love our whole neighbor. The physical, spiritual, emotional dimensions, all of them. And I'm realizing that a big part of our division is that we are emphasizing love in different dimensions. Some people are most deeply concerned about the physical dimension of COVID. Others care more about the emotional tolls of the lockdown or the mental costs of isolation. And I've also realized that people's experiences of life are having a huge effect on the dimensions of love they're valuing. Some have had bad experiences with governmental or health authorities. Damage has been done to them from those places, which makes it hard to trust. Others have only had good experiences, so of course we respect those recommendations. Others have physical issues, often unseen, that keep them from being able to do what so many other people are saying is the right thing to do. So judgment comes, and then these people are prone to judge back, and it just wears everybody down. So I'd like to make a proposal that we love one another by wearing masks, yes, but also by listening. Also by asking genuine questions. Also by seeking to understand. Also by making sacrifices sometimes to be present with people in a way that we might not otherwise. Now, you may still disagree at the end of the day, but I'm finding in these conversations that very few people simply don't want to love. It's just a confusing time to know how to love in every dimension, and sometimes easy to forget that that's the goal of this whole thing. How do we love one another? We actually need one another in our different perspectives to understand how to love more deeply. I have personally really been enriched over the last few weeks by hearing others' opinions and experiences, even when I disagree with them. I'm growing through the conversations because I'm learning to see things not just through my own eyes, but through their eyes. I think that's part of love, is by giving up, sacrificing the assumption that we are the ones who know everything and see all things as they are. So let's protect others from COVID and from condemnation. Let's love one another's bodies and hearts. And let's all be quick to admit that we're still learning, me included. Much love to you all in every dimension.